Imagine waking up tomorrow morning. The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, but your reality has completely shifted. You reach for your phone, open your banking app, and the number staring back at you is zero. Zero. No savings, no checking account balance, no investment portfolio, no crypto wallet. No emergency cash stuffed under the mattress. The slate has been wiped completely clean. It's just you, your current knowledge, the clothes on your back, and 24 hours in a day. For most people, this is the stuff of nightmares. It induces panic, it induces fear. But what if I told you that this scenario, starting from zero, is actually the ultimate test of financial literacy? Welcome back to MonsterInvest. I'm Daniel, your host, and today we are going to do something different. We aren't looking at charts. We aren't talking about the latest earnings report from Apple or Tesla. We are going to strip the game of wealth down to its absolute bare bones. This is a comprehensive, deep dive episode. I want you to grab a coffee, maybe a notebook, because we are going to be here for a while. We are going to map out the exact blueprint, step by step, hour by hour, of what I would do if I lost everything and had to build my wealth back up from absolutely nothing. This isn't a motivational speech. This is a tactical manual. If you are listening to this and you actually do have $0, this is your lifeline. If you are listening to this and you have money, this is your insurance policy, because knowing how to build wealth is infinitely more important than just having wealth. Now, before we lay the first brick, we need to address the elephant in the room. The biggest lie in finance is that it takes money to make money. That is false. It takes value to make money. It takes discipline to keep money, and it takes time to grow money. Notice that none of those things require a starting balance of $1 million. If I were standing at that starting line today, staring at a balance of zero, I would execute a 4-phase master plan. Phase 1 is stabilization. Phase 2 is the income engine. Phase 3 is the wealth gap, and Phase 4 is the infinite garden. Let's begin with Phase 1, stabilization. When you are at zero, you are in a vulnerable state. You are one flat tire, one medical emergency, or one lost shift away from disaster. You cannot be an investor yet. You have to be a survivor. Let me introduce you to two people. Let's call them Alex and Ben. They both start today with $0. Ben panics. He sees $0 and thinks, I need to get rich quick. He borrows money to buy a speculative crypto coin. He maxes out a credit card to look like he has money. He tries to sprint before he can crawl. Alex is different. Alex understands that before you can build a skyscraper, you have to stop the ground from sinking. If I am Alex, my first 30 days are not about investing. They are about an audit. I call this the ruthless audit. I would print out my bank statements from the last 3 months. Even if the balance is zero now, I need to know where the money went. I would take a red pen and circle every single expense that kept me alive. Rent, basic groceries, lights, water, everything else. The subscriptions, the dining out, the drinks with friends, the new clothes, it gets cut. I am declaring a temporary state of emergency on my lifestyle. Why? Because I need to build the sleep at night fund. Most financial gurus tell you to save 3 to 6 months of expenses, and yes, that is the goal. But when you are at zero, that goal feels impossible. It feels like climbing Mount Everest without shoes. So I don't aim for 6 months. I aim for $1,000. $1,000 is a magic number. It's not enough to retire, but it is enough to break the cycle of panic. If your car breaks down, you don't need a credit card. You have the cash. If you get sick, you have a buffer. To get this $1,000, I am doing anything legal. I am selling the clothes I don't wear. I am driving Uber on the weekends. I am walking dogs. I am moving furniture. I am not too proud to work. In this phase, my ego is my enemy. I need cash flow to stabilize the ship. Once I have that $1,000 sitting in a separate high-yield savings account, one that I do not touch, I have graduated from Phase 1. I am no longer drowning. I am treading water. Now we move to Phase 2, the income engine. This is the phase where most people get stuck for their entire lives. They think the only way to save more money is to cut more coupons. They pinch pennies until their fingers bleed. But here is the mathematical truth. There is a floor to how much you can cut expenses. You can't cut your expenses to zero. You have to eat. But there is no ceiling to how much you can earn. If I have my $1,000 safety net, I am now looking at the asset that produces the highest return on investment in the world. It's not the S&P 500. It's not real estate. It's human capital. It's me. I need to increase the value of my hour. Let's go back to our friend Alex. Alex works at a warehouse making $15 an hour. He works 40 hours a week. He is exhausted. He thinks, Daniel, I can't invest. I don't have any money left over. Alex is right. You cannot invest on 15 an hour if your cost of living is 15 an hour. The math doesn't work. So if I am Alex, I am not looking for a second job at another warehouse. That is linear growth. I am looking for exponential growth. I need a high-income skill. What is a high-income skill? It is a skill that solves a painful, expensive problem for a business or a wealthy individual. Examples: copywriting, digital marketing, video editing, sales, coding, project management. Here is exactly what I would do. I would identify one skill. Let's say, for this example, I choose email marketing for small businesses. I would spend the next 60 days becoming obsessed. I'm not going back to college. I'm not paying $50,000 for a degree. I am using the University of YouTube. I'm reading every blog, listening to every podcast, and studying every successful email campaign I can find. Total cost, $0. Cost in time, every spare evening and weekend. While Ben, remember Ben, is watching Netflix and complaining about his boss, Alex is learning how to write subject lines that get opened. After 60 days, I don't have a degree, but I have competence. Now I need clients. I would approach local businesses, the dry cleaner, the local gym, the boutique coffee shop. I would walk in and say, I see you have an email list, but you rarely send updates. I will write your newsletters for you. If I bring you more customers, you pay me. If I don't, you pay me nothing. This is an irresistible offer. The risk is on me. Let's say the gym says yes. I work for free for 2 weeks. I bring them 5 new members. The owner is thrilled. Now I say, great. To keep doing this, my fee is $1,000 a month. They pay it. Why? Because I just made them $5,000. Now look at the math. Alex still has his warehouse job paying his rent, but now he has one client paying him $1,000 a month. That $1,000 is pure surplus. This brings us to phase 3, the wealth gap. The wealth gap is the difference between your income and your expenses. Most people, when they start making extra money, they succumb to lifestyle creep. Ben gets a raise, Ben buys a new truck, Ben moves to a nicer apartment, Ben eats at the steakhouse. Ben's wealth gap stays at 0. Alex is a savage. Alex continues to live exactly as he did when he was broke. He keeps his expenses flat, but his income has just gone up by $1,000. His wealth gap is now wide open. This is the moment, and only this moment, where we actually start investing in the traditional sense. If I am starting from 0, I cannot afford to lose money. I don't have the stomach for high risk. I'm not looking for a lottery ticket. I'm looking for a snowball. I would open a brokerage account. I would choose a boring, reliable platform, and I would set up an automated transfer. The strategy I would use is called the total market strategy. I'm not trying to pick the next apple. I'm not trying to guess if gold is going up or down. I am going to buy the entire haystack. I would put 100% of my surplus capital into a low-cost index fund, like the S&P 500 or a total world stock market index. Let me explain why this is so powerful for someone starting from 0. When you buy an S&P 500 index fund, you are buying a tiny piece of the 500 largest, most profitable companies in America. You are becoming a partial owner of Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, and Berkshire Hathaway. You are betting on human innovation. You are betting that tomorrow people will still buy iPhones, they will still search on Google, and they will still buy toothpaste. So Alex takes his $1,000 from his side hustle and pumps it into this index fund every single month. He doesn't look at the price. He doesn't care if the news says the market is crashing. In fact, if the market crashes, Alex gets excited. Why? Because his $1,000 buys more shares. It's like the stock market is having a clearance sale. This is called dollar cost averaging. It removes emotions from the equation. Let's fast forward. Year 1, Alex has invested $12,000. The market does okay. Maybe he has $13,000. It's boring. It's unsexy. Ben laughs at him. Ben says, bro, I made $500 in one day on this crypto coin. Ben forgets to mention he lost $2,000 the next week. Year 5, Alex has kept learning. He now has 3 clients. He's making an extra $3,000 a month. He's still investing all of it. He has invested over $150,000. With compound interest, his portfolio is pushing $200,000. Suddenly, Alex isn't just a guy with a side hustle. He's a guy with $250,000 working for him. His money has employees. His dollars are out there recruiting more dollars. This leads us to the final phase, phase 4, the infinite garden. This is the psychological phase. This is where the game is won or lost in the mind. The hardest part of starting from 0 isn't the math. The math is simple. Spend less than you earn, invest the difference. The hardest part is the boredom. Real investing is like watching paint dry. It is like watching grass grow. It is painfully slow in the beginning. You will want to quit. You will look at social media and see people driving Lamborghinis and claiming they made it in a week. You will feel like you are falling behind. But you have to understand the difference between being rich and being wealthy. Rich is the guy with the high income and the high expenses. If he stops working today, he goes broke next month. Wealthy is Alex. Alex might drive a 5-year-old Honda. He might wear a plain t-shirt, but if Alex stops working today, his investments pay him. He owns his time. If I started from zero, my goal wouldn't be to buy a Ferrari. My goal would be to buy my freedom. I would set a target number. Let's say 1 million. Why that number? Because with a safe withdrawal rate, 1 million can pay you roughly 40,000 to 50,000 a year for the rest of your life without you ever lifting a finger. That is freedom. That is the finish line of the rat race. So let's bring this all together. Let's synthesize this into a battle plan you can execute the moment this podcast ends. If I woke up with $0 today, here is the recap of my day. Step 1, the audit. I am cutting every expense that doesn't keep me alive. I am stopping the bleeding. Step 2, the shield. I am hustling, Uber, selling items, manual labor, to get $1,000 cash in the bank for emergencies. Step 3, the skill. I am choosing one high-income skill, sales, marketing, coding, and spending every free hour mastering it for free on the internet. Step 4, the hustle. I am converting that skill into a service business. I am getting my first client. Step 5, the gap. I am living on my old income and saving 100% of my new income. Step 6, the snowball. I am investing that surplus into a low-cost, diversified index fund every single month, regardless of what the market does. And step 7, the patience. I am waiting. I am letting time and compound interest do the heavy lifting. This journey is not easy. If it were easy, everyone would be wealthy. It requires you to be different. It requires you to say no to things today so you can say yes to everything tomorrow. There will be days you want to quit. There will be days you feel like you aren't moving forward. In those moments, I want you to remember this. Every dollar you invest is a soldier. You are the general. Your job is to recruit as many soldiers as possible and send them out to capture territory. At first, you have a small squad, but over time, you will have an army, and that army will fight for your freedom while you sleep. It doesn't matter if you are 20, 30, 40, or 50 years old. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. Start with zero, start with fear, start with doubt, but for the love of your future self, just start. This has been Daniel with MonsterInvest. Thank you for giving me your most valuable asset today, your time. If this blueprint helped you, share it with someone who needs a restart. Subscribe, stay disciplined, and I'll see you in the next episode. Now go build your empire.